can change it into a radar chart or a radial chart. So there's just different customizations there. Um, so this is the transactions page. Here, you can simply just add a new transaction. You can pick a date, add an account from the accounts page, add a category, add a payee, which is just like, we'll just call it merchant. And you can add an amount, let's say 100. And here you can add it as income or expenses depending on which you want. So here we can just create a transaction and it gets added at the end. Um,
We created
inside,
these multiple categories to be able to make sure that the people are able to keep track of where these are coming from. So as like many times people have like just like, oh, I had this expense of this, but we don't actually know from where it is. So we created these multiple things to make sure that you're keeping track of where this money is coming from or where it's going to.
mhm, yeah. And this is the accounts page. Here we can add a new account. We can just type the account, uh, cash, and then it gets created at the bottom. That's about it. And then you can also filter the name of the account through this. Inside the categories page, you can add a new category. We'll call it food again, and it gets added to the bottom. Um, Also inside the transactions, we have this CSV import file where you can import a CSV document of, let's say, what your bank's statement says. So I'll just go ahead and uh, add a CSV. And here you can select the amount, the payee, and the date depending on uh, where it is. So here I'll just select this as the date. I'll select this as that and the amount. Here we can continue with an account and you can confirm that and then it gets added to the bottom here. Um, Additionally, we can connect with Plaid. So if I just connect here, this is Plaid, and here you can connect to your own bank account depending on which one you have. I'll just connect with the Chase bank account. Um, sorry. Um, I'll just connect these two.
Yeah, this is just a demo account
Yeah.
just to show you guys an example for now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So now as we connected the bank account, it adds these different Plaid accounts here, and it adds these different categories here at the bottom, and additionally adds more transactions to the table and updates these graphs. Also additionally, we have this date filter where you can filter the date depending on which one you want. Let's say you want from September 13th to 13th. You can apply that. Just keep it like this for now. And also we have this small AI chatbot. Here you can also use voice recording, or you can just say, hi, what is and essentially, the AI chatbot connects with your income and gives you your income based on what it says per month. Additionally, you can also find the expenses amount, and using the AI, you can also add an account to the table. So here we'll just add an account of name, let's say uh, cash, and it processes that data. And so here you can see that it adds that account in the table.
Yeah, that we primarily added that chatbot to really help with financial questions as I had trained this off a Gemini model to be able to help people ask if you're unsure about stuff, like ask financial questions like how much should I have saved up to buy a house, like specific questions like that. As we are taking the data that you've put in, how much income you have, expenses, your remaining, how much you have left, to figure out like to help you financially also. So also, you can enter in images, stuff like that, into the AI chatbot, and we're hoping to add more features also to be able to, like how we had that ad account. Maybe we can add categories, transactions, stuff like that, to automatically put it in, just to make your life easier. Really, just to be able to understand finances better. So that was our main goal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you guys. So, if judges have any questions, you can go ahead and ask.
Maybe you can tell us why you've chosen that tech stack, like a little more how you decided to use TypeScript, all these ideas. Just a short comment.
Yeah, so we use React for the front end and then like so TSX for the front end and then TypeScript for the back end. And for the back end, we mainly use this type called Hono.js, which essentially is like a different type of it's like a different type of backend request where you can use like the Hono app itself to pass in the different clerk middlewares inside like the validators. And so for the authentication for the sign in, like if we sign out and we can log in, we use Clerk for this sign in page. Here you can sign in with like Apple, GitHub, Google, or Microsoft, or you can just use your email address. So here we use the clerk for that, and then we pass in that member user ID to be able to make each app unique to the user. For the database, we use this database called Neon database, and we connected it with another local database called Drizzle ORM. Yes, so that it was a SQL database where we essentially just made different tables of the accounts, the transactions, the categories, and we essentially parsed those values based on the what the values were. Um, for the authentication, yeah, we use uh to connect the bank account, we use Plaid, and for the AI, we use Gemini. And mainly to connect like the backend requests with the front end, we use like different components with React and like the Next.js. So we essentially um connected like the different requests with the front end, and then we parsed we essentially used the post requests inside our front end. Um yeah, I think that's all.
Hey, quick
Yeah.
question. For AI, what made you choose Gemini over other models?
So I really you like to use Gemini, as it really was much easier to train compared to other models. As when I was training I was my first iterations when I was training, Gemini was really the only one that was consistently giving me the best losses ratio, which I was training much faster, and compared to other models like ChatGPT, I was trying it was being very finicky, and this model really helped give more better descriptions. I found, as like a lot of them would like just give me short descriptions when I entered all my data in, but this one really gave me nice, like it explained it much better compared to other models. That's why I had chosen Gemini over it, and it was much easier to train, as the APIs, the documentation, it really helped me understand it better.
Nice.
Yeah, just a quick question. I wanted to ask how you're protecting your data in your database.
So we essentially protect the data in the database. We use like a Neon database, which is essentially we have to sign into our account. and then we can connect with that database. So it's like a web-based database. But so that's why we connected that with our Drizzle ORM, which is just a local server. And so that Neon database stores all of that data, and then we can connect it with our app. So no one else can access the database because we have to sign in with our login and our credentials to be able to access all of the tables inside.
Yeah, thanks.
Mhm.
Okay, so what was kind of the overall approach towards this that you guys use? Like towards the overall development of the project?
So we mainly just used Next.js, and then for the front end, we used like TypeScript, TSX. So we used the React components. So we essentially just added the front end with React, and then for the back end, we used TypeScript to query the database, get information from the database, and essentially be able to return it so that the front end can access that data and be able to uh, use the features inside the website itself. So we created these different API routes, which got all of the data and returned all of the, let's say, transactions or accounts. And then using that API route, we passed it into our front end, and then we were able to um, render whatever that data is, whatever we needed from that backend API route. We rendered that on the front end based on where we needed it.
Okay, and do you guys plan to, expand on this project? Like where do you see this going in the future, for example? Like what do you think you could add on to it?
Yeah, definitely. We're planning on expanding on this as I feel like we would probably want to work on a UI as it looks okay for now, but I feel like we could definitely make the design look better, more user friendly, things like that. Also adding a tutorial for people to understand really what they have to do as maybe looking at the categories, accounts, stuff like that. They may not understand it initially. So we can add like a tutorial to explain that and also adding features to the AI, like I said. And then really explaining those things out and making it just look better, I think, is really the main things that we can add on to it. As I find that the features work pretty well, but just making it look better would be something that would raise this application to be better.
Mhm.
Okay, sounds good. Do any other judges have any other questions? Um, if not, I just want to say, your guys' presentation was, it was amazing. I feel like this project itself probably took a lot of work and a lot of, you know, different components connected together to be able to get it to work. Um,
Mhm.
I feel like also the way you explained to us, like how the detail of explanation was really well. So, overall, I really like your guys' projects. I like, you know, the purpose of it. If you guys have anything else you want to share, like maybe like any challenges, what was your most challenging part, anything like that, we can get into that. Um, if you want to, other than that.
Yeah, honestly, the most challenging part was being able to get Plaid to connect because there was a lot of different like keys and APIs that I had to go, documentation that I had to go through, and like to be able to get it to work with what I wanted. So I would say connecting it to Plaid was probably the most challenging part. Additionally, connecting just working with Hono.js for the first time, it was a bit hard, but Hono.js really worked well with Clerk because it isn't all I had to do was pass in that Clerk middleware as a parameter. So just learning that was took a little bit of time, but ultimately I was able to learn it. It was not really too hard to.
Yeah,
Um,
with me, I had similar issues, but for I had to read a lot of documentation for the AI training. A lot of the time, it was like I had to pay for it, things like that. And eventually, it took a long time to find something that worked well. But I finally found Gemini, which really had some nice documentation to learn how to train it. Also, currently, I'm working on the UI, figuring out how to use like Bootstrap, Framer Motion to really get nice animations, make the entire user experience more smooth.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you guys for participating. Thank you for joining. Um, if you have any other questions or comments, um, you can let us know with the overall process of the hackathon if that seemed okay. If you have any comments on that. Other than that, I think the project was really well done. I just want to confirm you guys are both based in Utah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Yeah. If you have anything else, you can let us know. Other than that, good work.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks.
Also for the judges, so as we know, like 5 and 6 are canceled, so there's
Mhm.
kind of like a break, but be sure to join 7 when that happens.
Regarding the first one, any feedback you guys want to share? The perspective 3D.
So for perspective, um, it was really less of, well, obviously software went into it, but it was more of a kind of
Idea.
like an immersive experience
Mhm.
type of thing. So, and their project was more fundamentally based on um kind of connecting the user to what's going on in the environment. So it's like it's more immersive in a way.
Useful.
Yeah. Okay. So what is your guys' score sheet looking? Do you guys, which project do you think?
At this point, I'm just making notes because I want to score it, within the group of all projects. Because some if something will look a little better later on, it will be hard, to adjust the score. So I'm just making notes, and I was thinking to score at the end. But so far, this particular project, I think very, very strong. The uh, you know, finance analytica app.
Yeah.
Another one, the waste management is a great idea. But another question: are we like, what do you think weights more, the idea, the pitch, the presentation, or the tech stack, or it's kind of equal? So we should.
I think it's equal because I feel like some people's presentation overall because
Mhm,
like differs among people, but their project could have been better.
mhm,
So, for something like I know you weren't present for the first one, but
mhm,
like the immersive one, the overall concept, the idea, the presentation was really well done. But obviously, compared to something like this financial analytics, it falls far behind in terms of development. So,
yeah.
um, but be sure to, even if the idea is good, like the concept is good, that can add
Mhm.
some weight to the project. So,
Because for me, it's really impressive when I see young people making that kind of strong tech projects. So for
yeah.
me, it weights a little more than
Yeah, and
uh,
definitely tech stack, that's like number one priority. And then,
if this would be like, for any age hackathon, that might be a little different, but when people are that young, it really, it's impressive.
yeah, so when you guys are scoring, like definitely make your first priority the tech stack.
Mhm.
Then, look at the overall purpose of the project, and that can add some weight, but the first thing should be the tech stack.
Sounds good. Okay, that's what I thought.
And I
Perfect.
just wanted
Mhm.
to ask, so, um, do you guys think you can score this by the end of today?
Of
Or
course, yeah. I mean, I have all the notes. I just need to see what's coming, and I'll try to do it in the like 30 minutes after we finish all the watching all the presentations.
Yeah, thank you. Because
I already have scores, but maybe during the meetings I will change some scores and some comments, but I had scores too.
okay, thank you. Yeah, we just want to, kind of get to a point where we wrap it up because, it's been some time, like people are asking. So, so yeah, as soon as you guys can get it done, that would be really appreciated. Again, thank you for everything you've done for us.
Thank you.
Yeah. So other than that, we can join the
Okay.
next meeting at 10:30. So we'll end this one.
Sounds good.
Yes.
Are we who's the 10:30?
10:30
So
slot,
cry.
Let me
Gen query.
Souls cry. Hmm.
Souls. Let me see. Mm, oh, it is Soulscribe. It's Soulscribe. Yeah, we got it right. Okay. Yeah, so we'll just join back at 10.
sounds good. Okay. See you in a bit. Thanks.